Welcome back, everybody, to TrinityCore 3.3.5. I did say originally in the earlier videos we weren't going to do the Plague Quarter again since we've already seen it in the first video. That's what I did to all of the Plague Quarter. But we're going to do it anyway because consistency. We've done every quarter up to this point except for Plague. We just got done doing the Broken Construct Quarter. And here we are. So just to recap everything, we've done all the quarters. We are a 25-man raid team in 3.3.5a patch of World of Warcraft Wrath of Lich King. This mod is possible, or these repacks are possible to play with 25 guys or 10 guys on basically any raid up to Ice Crown. 10-man, I'd say the only difference really is damage values, health values, and it's a little bit easier to micromanage your team with 10 people as opposed to 25. Especially getting a group together for 25 is a lot more difficult. But here we are. So we are moving into the Plague Quarter. Personally, my second favorite quarter here, next to the military. I can't imagine doing I can't imagine doing raid fights in the newer content with NPC bots without them being programmed to know how to do the mechanics. Because at least in like Burning Crusade, Vanilla, and Wrath of Lich King, bosses weren't super complicated with mechanics yet. Yeah, a lot of the mechanics were very simple to the point that yes, brain dead people could figure them out. But nowadays, like, I watch the Mythic guys, like Method and them, forget it, dude. We ain't doing jack shit with that. Okie dokie. Noth the Plaguebringer. He was known as one of the free loot runs of this raid because he is ridiculously easy. His only gimmick is he teleports around the room in 25 and resetting the aggro. From a tank, he spawns in undead ads, which the bots will literally just CC. And then he casts a curse on players that does damage, but the AI will literally decurse it in 2 seconds. So this fight is a literal free loot run. Unfortunately, he drops literally nothing worthwhile. This fight is literally the easiest. If you somehow fail in this fight, then your group is definitely not ready for Nax. He doesn't do that much damage either to non-tankies. Except if you're Cloth. He will beat your shit in if you are Cloth. But that's okay. That's like every raid boss ever. And yes, I think I forgot to mention this in all my other videos. I did get a patch from online, I think from Warmane, to get the new character models from Legion and WoD. Where is he? See how he teleported over there and he started attacking Cobb immediately? Because he changed his aggro immediately. So Cobb just happened to be doing the most damage at the time. The next fight after this is Hegan, which we do cheese only because I don't know how to do the dance. That's why. But the next fight is technically possible to do legit. I just don't know how to do the dance perfectly, so we cheese the fight. Apparently, it's a whole thing that you need to like actually look up and know the steps. I don't know the steps. But his fight is the most interesting here, to be honest. It's probably the coolest mechanic-wise. Unlike Gothic. Gothic's is the most fucking boring to me. But I still prefer Gothic's fight over the ones in the Construct Quarter because the Construct Quarter is just super broken. Yeah. Like Gloves fight, you have to do, you know, cheating-wise. Same thing with What's-His-Face's fight because the NPCs. And the Patchwork's fight is just really boring. Same thing like Gothic's. But at least Gothic's has like a big gimmick in it and everything. Yeah, at least in Gothic's fight, you have to run around and fight the ads and stuff. Alright, so now he teleports up and he summons in quote-unquote harder enemies for you to fight. Not really. And then you just have to fight his ads down. But we do so much damage now, it's like, you know, get the fuck out of here. Okay, there we go. I want to come back here to this place after we beat ICC a few times. Because I want to see how quick we can clear through this place on 25 once we have that gear. That's my favorite thing about going back to Warlords of Draenor towards the end of the expansion and doing LFR, doing LFR, High Maul. Because you and the people in the groups just clear through the place in like 10 minutes, each wing. When the expansion first came out, the wings would still take you like almost half an hour. See how easy it is just to clear these guys? Now, on 25-man, he summons more guys. On 10-man, he only summons, I think, 2 ads during this phase. Yeah. Now, if you don't kill him fast enough after he teleports up there, I think 3 times, he does summon a fuck ton of guys during these ad waves. So, yeah, but you see how big the room is? This room was meant for 40 people. You can tell because 25 of us take up like a corner of it. So you can imagine another 25 or so people over there. Oh, get ready. Alright, beat his head in. Look at all those chaos balls come out of nowhere. Alright, so we're definitely killing him on this pull, because there's no way he's surviving. My poison wore off. Shit. What kind of rogue am I? Excuse me, everybody. Can we pause the fight, please? I gotta put poison in my weapons. Yeah, don't mind me. Trust me, the AI would do the same thing, so I'm just as much of a bot as them. Up, and I used a fucking... Look at that. I used a stun ability on a guy who couldn't be stunned. I am the ultimate bot out here. Up. Okay. Oh, he teleports away. I always forget he does that. The good news is that most of the time... Oopsie daisy. Most of the time he attacks people that can take the hits at least. So he'll attack like the plate wearers and stuff. He attacked me once. Look at Croc, man. Croc looks so cool. Look at him go. The only way I've said that we would move on to another raid is after this group gets at least... at least a few people with their tiers. And right now, there's only one person that has their tier. So you can imagine how long this is going to take. Oh. Oh, all right. And now comes the worst fucking part of this entire quarter is this room of trash. But don't worry. Watch this. A magic trick. Alakazam. And look at that. Magic trick over. Room clear to trash. So these bots are so good that what I do is I pull the first enemy outside the door and then just... right-click an enemy all the way at the top, and these guys will run through the entire room clearing it. The only casualty we had was a hunter pet. Alright, so Hegan's fight is very, very, very unique when it comes to battles. So the way I do it is we cheese it extremely because I don't know how to do the dance. If I knew how to do the dance, you could technically do this fight 100% legit. What I do is I set everybody's attack and follow distances to 0, and we're going to sit in this platform the entire fight because you can survive his damage when you're on the platform. So, like I said, Hegan's fight is an entire gimmick battle where you have to do his dance. So, you see the spots on the floor, you have to jump around because then the platforms will explode up goop. Now, technically, yes, we could do the fight legit with this setup. So, we could all jump off the platform when he does it and do the dance, but I don't know how to do it. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do it, but again, I play this game to have fun, not to play it as a full-time job. So, here we go. Hegan the Unclean. And everybody attack. Attack! Okay, give him a sec. Don't worry, the bots will figure it out. There we go. Alright, a little bit of server lag there, but we're fine. Alright, Hegan's fight is not that hard, by the way. He doesn't do that much damage when you're on the platform. He occasionally hits you with some poison effects and stuff, but what are you going to do? Okay, it doesn't look like everybody's attacking, but trust me, they are. You see his damage is, or his health is going down pretty quick. And while we're actually standing on the platform, he does not hurt our cast... Oh, he does still do it. I forgot, it's like one of his abilities. Your casting speed is reduced by 300%. Good news is the tanks can take the hit. Or can take his hits. Okay. You don't get hit with it as often, though, because I think, you know, on the floors when he casts it. Actually, this fight was the most, like, stressful, in my opinion, in real life, because while the spellcasters would sit on the platform so they wouldn't get hurt, right, by the floor effects, right? But as melee characters, your main tank had to kite him to the spots of the dance while everybody who's melee was following him. So you needed a tank who knew how to do this fight in order to do it. And like I said, talk about like real stressful. Oh man, we're getting them. Like I said, this fight is, you know, in real life it's way more intense than what you're seeing here. Now, in my original video on TrinityCore, I did mention that we did this fight, and this is exactly what we did, but I skipped over it. Oh, God. Okay. So, like I said, we can actually take the hits because the healers are so good. And the casting debuff doesn't hurt you here, so the healers can keep up because the amount of mana they have. Knowing my luck, I'm just saying that, and it doesn't really matter. We're still going to die. I hear the high-level healing abilities hitting us. The reason why you're supposed to leave the platform is because he kills everybody on it with a lot of damage. Right now, he hasn't killed anybody, so we're still good. The dance is intense at this part because it's faster, so you have to keep your ass moving constantly in order to stay alive. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like he's killed anybody. We even have a mana spring totem out on the ground to give us mana. Oh, there we go. All right, so the fight's back on. We survived. So that's how you can cheese this fight because the AI are so good at healing and getting their mana back with their unlimited amount of potions. Which you can actually set, I think, in the bot settings for them not to have. And also you can set it that they can't eat and drink on the move. So that's also another thing. They're probably all eating and drinking while fighting to gain their mana back and stuff. And like I said, these guys have unlimited supplies of mana potions and stuff. When it comes to player bots, it's different. They actually have to have the stuff in their inventory for it to work. Yeah, for them to be able to heal and use potions and stuff. But they actually tell you when they use them. The only problem is that the player bots are nowhere near as good as these guys. Hey, here we go. Okay, so now what I do is I set the formations back to normal. So I do 60. And the attack distance is back to short range. Alright, and you guys are good to go. Alright, and Hegan dropped money. This fucking thing is everywhere, but that's for Death Knights. many of our healers have this already. Aha! Plate boots! Finally. Alright, we might, yeah, another magic trick coming up. This room is just big with all these big maggots and all the big scary eyes. It's very easy to clear, though, compared to the bosses, so. Magic trick! Alakazam! Your room is now clean. Oh, man, it's beautiful, man. The best part about using these bot repacks without real people is that grinding down trash is no longer a chore, because you can literally sit back and watch them clear it. Alright, so, moving through this pain-in-the-ass room, we are now on our way to Loatheb, who's the final boss in the Plague Quarter. There he is. He's a big, like, mushroom undead monster. His main gimmick is that he's very resistant to nature damage. He inflicts poison damage on you. I think he's also immune to poisons. And his gimmick is he casts a aura in the room that deflects all healing by 100%. So you can't actually heal a lot of the time during this fight. That's the big gimmick. And then he will cast Inevitable Doom, I think it's called, on party members, which will do damage to them. And then he has some sort of poison AoE that he hits people with on occasion. During the fight, there are spores that appear in the room. And the spores, if destroyed, will grant you extra damage to anybody who's inside of it. The point is, it's a big DPS race fight, because you're trying to beat him before he either takes out everybody's health because of no healing, or, you know, before he goes enraged. Because this is in the day where everybody fucking enraged. Out of all the final bosses in all the quarters, I want to say he's the easiest. Out of every quarter. Yeah, by far, he is the easiest fight out of all the final battles. Alright, let's get him! Loatheb! You will face us, the champions of the light! Do not hit me! Somebody take the Zelmot, not you! Thank you, Baltus. Alright, I don't know why Baltus is trying to be... Zelmot's trying to be hero again. I think he was one trying to be hero in military quarter. We're fighting Renuvius. He was the one taking the aggro. I usually take aggro at the start of the fights because I use my Felfire to pull the boss. So I always have aggro at the beginning because I do so much damage. Alrighty. So this is it. This is this entire fight. Nothing else really happens. I actually, when I first started doing this, again, this is one of those fights that if your group is not geared at all, you will not beat this fight because you won't have enough DPS. So when I found that out, I actually looked up if there's actually a way to, whatchamacallit? If there's actually a way to deflect the healing aura. But nope. It's just something that you have to deal with. Now, the bots aren't that dumb when it comes to this. So the tank bots, for example, will actually swap aggro if they need to. As opposed to, you know, doing nothing. Oh, yeah, and don't mind that they're not playing animations, but you still see the attack moves coming out. It's just one of those glitches with the models that I have that they don't always play all their animations correctly. It doesn't happen to melee characters as often, but it does on occasion. So usually it depends how they're standing. So I guess because they're maybe on an elevation. But they are fighting, trust me. Oops, I'm clicking nothing, so I'm not doing anything. So, you know, this fight's pretty, you know, by the book standards. It's pretty fun, though, because it's, you know, enjoyable to fight. There we go. Everybody just fucking moved for a second. To see everybody jump off the crowd for a second to go in and fight. Yeah, I don't know why that happens with the models. I don't know if it's something to do with them being NPCs or something. I don't know. But, you know, they look good. And all the spellcasters cast all their animations. And like I said, melee characters typically are good, too. Just every now and again you notice it. So I'm not going to look at it too much. So if Baltus gets way too low health, one of the other tanks will end up pulling aggro off. But, like I said, the AI for this fight know to use mostly shielding abilities, it seems like, when it comes to healing. So when you see Baltus taking no hits, it's because he has a lot of high-level shields on him. But he might go down. Usually in this fight, we typically lose at least 1 to 2 tanks usually during it. Not all the time, but sometimes you do. The perfect pull of this fight is if not one tank dies, which isn't all the time, unfortunately. Sometimes you get lucky, and you will get a perfect run where not one tank dies, which happens. You just never know. I got my, I think, yeah, so what's the ability called? Inevitable Doom. You get 5,000 damage hit onto you after 10 seconds. Yeah, so that's pretty nasty. And then you have Death Bloom, which you cast on random people at times, which, you know, hits you hard. As you see, I am hurt, and they're going to keep wasting heals on me because, you know, it's what they do. The bots just want the best for everybody in the group. So, you know, see, they just gave me a shield. Probably one of the best healing abilities ever, Power Word Fortitude, where you get the shield put on you. Oh, everybody's fucking running around behind for some reason. Baltus is still being our champ and taking these hits. Baltus is the ultimate guy to do it. He's the only person on the team to actually have his full tier set. Nobody else has it except him. I'm still annoyed that I didn't give him the better shield. I don't know why I gave it to Bocce. Bocce has a lot of his tier set, but he doesn't usually take primary aggro all the time. In fact, it's usually Baltus or Vareth that are the ones who are taking main aggro. Let's be fair. It's a warrior and a death knight versus a pally. You know, when Vanilla WoW was being made, the whatchamacallit was supposed to be the best tanks, warriors. And priests were supposed to be the best healers, even though in my opinion I think druids are probably the best. They have like the best healing abilities out of everybody. And then I'd say shamans, or then priests would be like a second, and shamans are third, and then pallies are fourth. I don't think all my pallies heal though. I think 2 of them do, but 1 of them doesn't. He's pure DPS. Oh, there you go. See, the animations look better now, or probably because the people who actually swing are in the front. Oh no, they're all just fighting. I hate it when I see her do that though. She's our feral druid, and on occasion she casts an ability which she has to leave her form to do. There you go. And then she goes back into it. And yes, I do have 1 melee shaman. Because I think that's like one of the coolest like specs, to be a magic caster who fights melee. In real WoW, when I played back in WoD a lot, my shaman Chug, C-H-O-G, random name, I was a enhancement shaman. So that was my main way of fighting. Oh god, I'm so happy the construct quarter is done, dude. That is the one quarter I hate doing the most. It's just mainly because in these repacks, it's just so broken. That's like the big problem. Oh, look at that. I'm getting hit with penance. Baltus is still taking these hits like a champ. Not enough energy. Well, you better start finding some energy. You almost got him. It's almost over, gents. And then it's off to the big boys upstairs. Oh, man, we're so close. Hit him with that exposed armor. Oh, yeah. Loatheb is down. Good job, everybody. Buff up if you need to. Yeah. Ooh! Shoulder pads. 200 gold. Somebody could probably use those. Alright, guys. So we will pick this up in the next part when we go upstairs to fight the 2 big boys, Saffron and Kel'Thuzad, because now we've cleared every corridor, finally. Let's get to it.